Ooga fucking ooga, cunts, and welcome to Cunt Stream News Network. I am your host, Dolphin Radio, and joining me tonight with a couple of really great stories are Reading Ren and American Phoenix. Joining us later will be the Politipod. Anyway, welcome to the Cunt Stream News Network. Ren, what have you got for us?
Well, the first article I have is Dodge Ram is under a little bit of fire right now for using Martin Luther King's speech in a Super Bowl ad.
By the way, who here watched the Super Bowl? Anybody? You guys?
I've been working all day.
It was an amazing game. It was a really great game. Didn't actually see a lot of the commercials, but everybody's ripping on how the Eagles weren't going to stand a chance. No, they ran it for most of the game. But back to Dodge Ram running an ad during the Super Bowl. How dare they appropriate Martin Luther King's voice?
People are complaining because it's the 50th anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech, so they used that in order to help. Apparently, people are complaining they used it to help sell a truck.
You know, I mean, to me, in order to be upset, I would have to know what kind of deal am I actually getting on the truck. If the deal is good enough, I wouldn't really give a fuck.
Yeah, this is true. But
sorry.
I was at the same point, apparently a lot of people on Twitter are complaining that it's appropriating the speech to sell a truck because it was specifically for the Dodge Ram.
Oh, man. And, they were going to give all the bonuses to that, primarily to their black employees, too. Screwed them over. What dicks.
Oh, yeah.
So it's always those cunts on Twitter.
Yeah, here's what I want to know. The truck that they used in the commercial, was it at least a black truck? I mean, because Dodge, they're more famous for the red, but I mean, if it was a black truck, is it really cultural appropriation?
Well, I think they're talking about the cultural appropriation of Martin Luther King's voice and his speech. And I think they have a problem with that, which I don't really care about. And I'm just wondering why anybody's doing anything but laugh. Was this in the comedy section of the news?
New York Post under media.
Oh, yeah, that's the comedy section. Yeah. So, great joke article, man. I need to go give them a thumbs up. I should go sub to them. New York Post. Yeah. Good comedy section. Anyway, so how is the road out there, American Phoenix?
All right, I'm supposed to update my day. The road out here is doing fine. I'm heading north on the I-5. Traffic's a bit heavy at the moment, but with 4 minutes left and only 3 miles to go, I should be able to park before fucking up and getting a massive fine.
Over to you, Ren.
All right. For the second one, which, given it's Black History Month.
Is it Black History Month?
Yes, it is.
We haven't replaced that with Black Culture Month yet.
Nope, it's Black History Month still.
Really stinks. Okay, so it is Black History Month. Let's do this.
And this whole time I thought it was fuck white people. Well,
I don't think that's a month. I think that's just a culture.
Oh, I see. Well, Thank you for correcting my confusion.
No problem. I'm here to help. Anyway, Ren, go on with your It's Black History Month. When did Black History Month start?
I have no clue.
Is that the story?
No, the story is Mike.com presents the new Black Monument Project, where they honor 54 Black heroes, including Colin Kaepernick, for a Snapchat filter where you make a monument out of your photo.
I like this, a digital monument that we can just hit delete and we don't have to worry about tearing it down or people protesting. Shit, you can give it like a month and people just forget it's there. That's awesome. And no public space taken up. I'm sorry, dude, tell more.
The project is available. You have to download it on your phone and then then bring it into Snapchat. But once in, you can have, and like I said, just make any picture into a monument and send in honor of Black History Month. And
Oh God.
Mike.com thinks this is going to be taken seriously.
I just realized how badly this is going to end. It just occurred to me that if somebody on 4chan sees this, it's all over.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to last like 10 more minutes, and then it's going to be over. Oh, crap.
Well, they started it 4 days ago, so we don't know if
All right.
it's
So-
been heard about yet there.
The Cunt stream is now taking bets on the time it takes between now and somebody putting Hitler on a Snapchat. All right. I say 48 hours.
Sounds
No,
about right.
I'd give it 24. Give it a day.
A day? You're going under. Wow. You know, you get no points if you go under. I'm just saying.
I know. I'm saying a day. I have faith in the fucking pure degeneracy of the internet.
I think Shin-Chan is actually going to do it right now. Nope, Zellstrike is.
I thought
Motherfucker, I love you guys. Thank you for helping me win. You know, it is appreciated.
Can I just say $1?
No.
Oh wow.
Let me check the official Cunt Stream rulebook on this, and yep, no, not allowed.
No, it can't do it. All right. So anyway.
Sorry, I fought for you, Dolphin.
Yep. Anyway, Page of Elay is giving them 12 minutes. Wow. That's no faith in humanity whatsoever. You guys can't hold off for 12 minutes to not put Hitler on the Black History Snapchat thing. Come on.
Come on. Reddit and 4chan are weaponized autism. 12 minutes is doable for them.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, by the way, special bonus to anyone who throws the link in the side chat about where we can find this new somebody posting that. I'd love to see it. Speaking of really bad shit going awry on something enjoyable, I went to a hockey game last week. And
Really?
twice, yeah, well, I mean, I try to get out and do things once in a while. So twice during the hockey game, I shit you not, we're all having a good time. There's like somebody just scored a goal and they're like, yeah, blah, 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 scored this goal. And let's take a moment of silence for all the cancer patients of blah. And you're just like, holy shit, did they really just do that? Twice.
Yes,
They did that. Twice they did that in the middle of in a hockey game. It's like, I paid how much for these tickets? Like, I'm at the peak of my excitement. My team just scored, and you... Yeah, I can take a moment of silence for those poor bastards with no hair.
Yeah. You know, like, cancer actually kind of hits very close to home for me. So, like, I'm actually growing my hair out to donate. So it's like, it's always nice when they are like, hey, you know, let's do something nice for these guys and let's bring awareness. But I'm with you right in the middle of a hockey game. It's just like, wow, thanks for the dick punch.
Yeah. I'll like do that in like figure skating or some crap. Oh, and by the way, it was a professional hockey league, not NHL, IHL, I think. Somebody in the chat was asking. But yeah, way to ruin my fucking fun.
Yeah.
And the moment went on way longer than it should have. It's like everybody just standing there.
Yeah, are we getting back to the game yet?
Yeah. It'd be better if you just said they were reviewing a play. We could all talk amongst ourselves.
Right.
But no, that was one of their sponsors for the night. I'd never seen it like that before, but God, I hope they never do that again. I'm gonna write them
they let a
angry
cancer
letter.
organization sponsor a hockey game?
Or something like that. I don't know. They were raising
seems like a
funds.
really fucked up misuse of the money.
I think it was more like they were fundraising for the hockey thing.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
I don't know. Maybe the owner of the hockey team got like caught doing something, as community service and it out. I don't know. I don't know how these things work. I know how you act when you want to make money, not when you want to give it to other people.
Right.
Sorry if that sounds cruel.
No, it
No,
sounds
no,
honest.
yeah. I'd rather you be
Anyway,
honest and tell me you're an asshole than try to sit here and lie to me and say how much of a nice guy you are.
oh yeah, I think
When in
it's the
reality, we
flagship.
all know you're a dolphin, and
No,
dolphins are assholes.
I'm pretty sure it's the flagship video on my channel. Yeah, I make it very clear right there in the beginning. I'm an asshole.
Yep.
Yo. Anyway, back to this. So what other like Hitler's too easy. What other kind of abuses are they going to use this for?
Putting one of the black heroes, whatever, in front of a Confederate flag.
Oh yeah. Wait. What about that black dude that was wearing the Confederate uniform, like flying the Confederate flag? That was arguing with the white kid
Oh
in that
yeah.
world famous video or world famous. He needs to be a Confederate monument, or I'm sorry, a Black History monument.
Oh yeah.
And a Confederate monument. Screw it. We'll put him up on the mountain with the rest of them.
Well, no one else was black on the mountain.
Yeah, we need a black guy on the mountain. Or two.
Yeah, show how inclusive we are.
Yeah. Anyway, back to financial news real quick to bring us into a dull, boring, sensible thing to talk about. The Dow is actually dropping. I know you guys have been all excited. The economy is exploding. The Dow is hitting new heights every day. Well, it's kind of dropping down now. And part of the reason for that is that a lot of these companies are now investing more in their employees. And whereas that means wages are going up for everybody that's, management and below, it actually means that the company stocks look less valuable because the expense sheets are higher, the income hasn't changed, and so the profit margin is dropping. And so that just makes the stocks in companies that are giving their employees more look less attractive. However, this is long game versus short game. If you look at the 10-year on a lot of these stocks, they're just epic. They're awesome. They're looking great. But the short term is that a lot of the Dow is going to be dropping off real soon. And then it's going to be steady climbing back up over the next, say, 7 or 8 years. But that's just an estimate. Well, it's basically good for everybody on, as they call it, Main Street. Basically, all the workers, all the people earning a paycheck, week to week, who aren't living on dividends. You guys are gonna love it. It's gonna be great for you, and you're not really gonna care because your retirement's 30, 40 years off, and if you're investing in the 10-year long plan, then you're good to go anyway. So I think everyone's going to be happy, but Wall Street's going to get a little irritated over the next few years.
Yeah.
I don't think that they'll get too mad, though, because they're still way above where they were 5 years ago. And they're going to stay way above where they were because it's going to take something epic to knock this Dow down to where it was 5 years ago.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's human nature. When you reach a new height and then you lose it, you get pissed off even though you're doing better than you were previously,
Well, look at it like this. Let's say you have $100 in your savings account and you go back in there in a month and there's 120. Now, we know interest doesn't actually work this way, but then you go in, there's a month later and there's 150, and you go in there a month after that and there's $200, and you take 100 out and you're like, okay, now I can go spend it. But now you're back to only earning $20 in that first month.
Right.
Now you got the money, you pull it out and you spend it, and that's what these companies did. They pulled it out, they gave it to their employees. They said, here's a bunch of money. We made a bunch of money. We're sharing it. But now there's less in the pot to make the company look attractive to people who want to invest. And that's really what it comes down to.
Right.
That's actually a really shitty analogy, but it gets the job done.
Yeah. Ugh. Okay, so can I do one of my stories now?
Yeah, absolutely. No, and hold on a second. I am cancer. I didn't say America needs to put a black person on Mount Rushmore. I said we need to put them on with the Confederate statues. And being in the South, I'm thinking like Stone Mountain because that's the nearest one to me.
Yeah, Stone Mountain's a very popular one.
Yeah, yeah, and I'd like to see them try and tear that thing down. Yeah, yeah.
Isn't there a park? Last I was there was like a park around it.
It's a
So
huge park. They do a laser light show and they have
I know I've
fireworks and
I've
like
been
it's
to
a
Laser
huge
Light
tourist
Show
attraction.
twice. Been to that twice.
Yeah, it is a really, really awesome place to bring the family on a weekend. See the light show. It's cool. Anyway, let's hear American Phoenix. What do you got?
Okay, so this is coming out of the Chicago Sun-Times, and it came out 2/4/2018. Holocaust denier poised to claim the GOP nomination in Illinois for the race of Congress. Arthur Jones is the only fucking Republican candidate on the primary ballot. He is an outspoken Holocaust denier, an active anti-Semite, a white supremacist, and is poised to become my party's freaking nominee.
Welcome to Illinois.
God, I hate that place.
Have you thought about running for office?
I'm in Arizona. I'm from Arizona, dude.
Oh well.
And I don't think I have. Well, I have one friend in Illinois, but I'm pretty sure she wouldn't be cool with me just coming and bunking up with her for a couple months in order to gain residency.
No, but what we need is somebody decent in Illinois, just a normal human being in Illinois.
I agree.
I think that's why Illinois always goes Democrats, because the anybody that's not a Democrat in Illinois seems to be completely insane.
Unless it's governor, and governor will frequently go towards a Republican.
Oh. I suppose you're right. I don't know.
Yeah. I haven't looked too much into it, to be honest with you. What makes me happy is a couple things here. He's 70 years old, which means he'll hopefully die soon. And he has run for elected offices before in the Chicago and Milwaukee area in the 70s, and he lost. So I'm very happy about that fact.
Well, then hopefully he'll lose again.
Oh, let's fucking hope so, because, yeah, this guy's a cunt. He actually called the Holocaust, let's see, where's the exact quote so I don't fuck this up? Oh, yeah, he called the Holocaust, he says, "To me, the Holocaust is what it is, an international extortion racket." Anybody else getting fucking murdery feelings right now, or is it just me?
I just hear stupidity and go, okay, I shake my head at this.
I don't know. I think it's a little. I mean, my family's here because of the Holocaust. We're not Jewish, but we are here because of the Holocaust. A lot of people are here because of the Holocaust. I think the whole world is where it is because of World War II.
Mm-hmm.
And so to sit there and be like, yeah, nothing happened, it's kind of stupid. But at the same time, what happened, I think there are people who milk it like they milk any tragedy. And they're few and far between. They're just as despicable. But I think about 99% of the world is like, yeah, that happened and it was really shitty. Or, yeah, that happened and when's it going to happen again if you're in the wrong part of the world?
Mm-hmm. Right.
But yeah, nobody with half a brain denies it.
Of course.
Right. The thing that really kind of kills me is you have certain people that deny the Holocaust, then you have certain people that overplay it, then you have, and most people are in the middle. But what kills me is you don't have very many people who will actually acknowledge what, and this is such a weird thing to say, but they won't acknowledge what the Holocaust, what the war actually did for humanity. Like the simple fact of the matter is more lives have been saved because of what Nazi scientists did than were lost because of it. Mm-hmm. And I do not ever hear many people talking about that. And I understand not wanting to give Nazis not giving them props because they're fucking assholes. But at the same point, you have to acknowledge the facts.
Well, that's just the problem. You just said acknowledge the facts.
Yep.
Yeah, the fact is they did a lot of stuff came out of the war, like super glue, but that wasn't a Nazi design. That was American. Tang, those were Nazis. Hook and loop fasteners, which you guys know as Velcro, also Nazi. Yeah, Volkswagen. Actually, Volkswagen was commissioned by Hitler himself because he thought the people should have a car that they can purchase, like everyday Germans. And that's why Volkswagen means car for the people.
Huh, I didn't know that. Well, I mean, I knew that he was the one who commissioned it. I didn't know what it meant, though.
Yeah, Volkswagen, people's car.
Actually, hell, Fanta soda, that was created for the Nazis by Coca-Cola because Coca-Cola couldn't legally sell Coke to the Germans.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. That was a Nazi drink.
And now it's sold as a South American drink.
Imagine
it's actually pretty delicious.
That's not bad.
I can't deny the fact that, when it comes to sodas, the Nazis did not have horrible taste.
This is true.
Yeah, and really, really evil marketing.
Oh, of course.
Well, yeah.
There's that kind of marketing that sticks in your head. Yeah, like a cultist nation they are. Good call, Josh. No, I'm sorry, I'm talking to the chat. Anyway.
No, it's all good.
So what was the basis of the story? Is that some guy that's a Nazi is running for office, who's an actual legit Nazi?
Yeah, straight up Holocaust denier, anti-Semite, the whole deal.
And let me guess, not an Antifa member in sight. We found a legit Nazi. We find a legit Nazi. I bet you there's not an Antifa member in sight.
Of course
fuck, not that I've seen about so far.
Like, oh shit, a real Nazi. Run. Those guys are scary.
Well, I have a funny one here. To get us off of the super depressing fact that there's a Nazi running for elected office.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. So this one's by Hillary Hansen. It says the title is Goose Hunter Knocked Unconscious by Dead Bird Falling from the Sky.
Oh, do we have video? Please tell me we have video.
There is, but I can't link it. I'm on a cell phone.
Oh.
An experienced hunter in Maryland wound up in a hospital on Thursday after a recently shot Canadian goose fell out of the sky and landed on his head.
That is just
pretty fucking funny.
Yeah. The bird got its final revenge.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking for this right now.
We
can find it.
It's on HuffPost.
It's on USA Today too. Wow, it is confirmed. They have video.
Yeah. We got two sources, bitch.
Is it like the memo where one's reporting on the other one, just reporting on the first one, type thing?
Yeah, I guess. Oh, real quick, I do have to say, before the goose was shot dead, we do have videotape of him having Russian prostitutes piss on a mattress.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
so
of course.
we did get that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't show it to you, because YouTube and their oppressive, anti-nudity policies. But trust me when I say it totally exists, and you just got to take my word on this.
Yeah,
Totally.
this one's. Oh, there's the video. Let's see this. Oh, son of a bitch. I really want to see this. This is gonna be great. If it's not, if it's just a big letdown like the memo. No, I'm just kidding. Everything's coming back to the memo. The damn memo.
It's haunting your dreams.
No, not really. I forgot about it. Really? No, I don't even want to buy your car. Get out of here.
Yeah, fuck your car.
My car is paid for. That's the best car in the world.
Same here. When you own the car outright, it's so much nicer.
Oh, look, I can plug it in and jack up my house electric bill. How wonderful.
That's how I feel about my motorcycle. It belongs to me, and therefore it's the best motorcycle.
Yeah, you have to spend gas for your car. Yeah, but I don't have a bill for it. No, this is an icy pond. This isn't Goose Falls from Sky hits Hunter in head.
I feel lied and betrayed.
I know. This is supposed to be the second sourcing of your video.
Hey, to be fair, you're the one who supposedly found the second source, not me.
You know what? We're gonna have to.
I was more than happy to just go off of one source and have blind faith. Okay, I was willing to do that, all right? I was trying to fall into the true CNN spirit of having fucking totally unsubstantiated claims, just throwing it out there. But no, you wanted to show a little bit of journalistic integrity, and now you're throwing that shit on me.
Yeah,
shame,
something
sir.
like that. So Kyle in the chat, it's up to AP. He hasn't been absent because of drama, just because of circumstance. So I've been just joking about us chopping him up and selling him for frog legs. He does taste just like chicken, but we didn't actually do that. And I'm not going to explain how we know what AP tastes like. Anyway, back to the news.
It's called Gay Orgy Dolphin. Just say it.
Shh. Ren.
Yes.
Next story.
Next story I have. And this one just made me go, what the fuck? Star Wars Last Jedi had a gay couple that no one noticed.
Just why?
Because
fucking nobody cares if you're gay anymore. Just fuck off.
guess who the gay couple is? The supposed gay couple.
Who?
Who's this? Is
Yes.
it Bink and Tag?
No.
It's not Tag and Bink.
Finn and Poe.
Finn and Poe. Who's Poe?
Poe is the guy who started the coup in the movie.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm
and
sorry.
Finn is the black guy.
No. I know who Finn is. He was in the last movie, and I paid attention sort of a little bit to that one. I don't know. I fell asleep during both of them because they were shit, and I tried to watch them later and realized, oh, that's why I fell asleep, because they were shit. So, just didn't keep my interest.
Yeah. Sorry. I've never seen Star Wars. So,
Yeah.
but just seriously though, why is it that they have to make an issue out of the fact that there was a gay couple that just nobody noticed? Like, isn't that their essential goal, is to just be like, yeah, hey, people are gay, but they're just normal people like everybody else?
Except sometimes they take it in the butt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like any other dolphin out there.
Yeah. Well, it's part of the whole thing they're going over. A part of the article I'm skipping, they go on about how there's only male porgs, and I could really not really give a shit about that.
No, the porgs are asexual. They reproduce by budding. They'll have a little porg like grow off like a wart, and then it pops off and grows into a big porg. You didn't know that?
I didn't give a shit.
No,
Porgs looked
I didn't
cute
either.
up until it was like this is just filler. But all the maybe it's their gay couple you never noticed comes from an interview that Oscar Isaac did last year, where he said because he plays Poe. Well, what it means to me is that people can see themselves in a hero like this as in a hero like this, in a movie like this, which I love, not only LGBT fans but Latinos, there's representation out there for that, and they're reading too much into Poe and Finn being a couple.
I always thought that Finn was going to hook up with Little Miss. I'm going to screw up everybody's plans because you sacrificing your life isn't worth all of ours.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking idiot. I really hated her. Like, she was the worst character ever. And then she didn't she die? She did die, right?
My brain
God,
says
is it open? Is it open ended?
I don't know.
Oh.
You're asking me to remember a movie that most of what I've watched has been online. I don't remember. All I know is she was annoying.
Yeah, I do remember that. Anyway. So, you got another story there for us, American Phoenix, to go along with this Star Wars nonsense.
Nope, but apparently the Republicans say the Russia probe will continue despite the controversial memo.
Yeah, it probably will. If they actually
on NPR and
one of my favorite
more
things
impactful, Trey Gowdy is retiring. Actually,
no. I heard about that. He's retiring from Congress. He's going back to the Justice Department.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Russia probe or no that that there's going to be a huge investigation into the FBI and the DOJ, as well as a lot of other agencies. I think that basically, if your agency is part of the alphabet, you're getting investigated real soon.
Oh yeah,
as they should.
I think it's far time that we just had an overall bureaucracy cleanup, because at least half of our waste goes into unaccountable bureaucracies with nominated or what is it, appointed officials, not elected.
Mm-hmm.
And that's half of our government waste.
Yeah.
Think about how much the CIA, ATF, DEA, DOJ, FEMA, all of them, just add them all together, and how much money they all spend to do basically copies of the same thing. Back when they were like, 17 of our intelligence agencies. Holy shit, we have 17 intelligence agencies? How fucking intelligent can they be if it takes 17 of them to do the job? God damn.
To be fair, technically, if you ask by that logic, we only really need two. The CIA, which does international shit, and the FBI, which does federal shit.
I'd say get rid of the CIA and replace it with the NSA. That's just my opinion. And oh yeah, another thing, the ATF, the DEA, they can both be replaced by the FBI. Let's see, what else do we got? The IRS, they could all be burned on crucifixes.
And you're not just saying it because it's tax season right now?
Publicly, televised, so that the next batch of people who decide they want to be tax collectors can know what's in store. Just saying, taxation is theft. No, I just did my taxes, and I'm fairly happy. I didn't get robbed too badly this year.
Nice.
Well, try being a independent contractor. Igor has to pay taxes with part of taxes with tax return.
Damn. Dolphin, I actually have a question for you. You're a bit older than me. What's your stance on something? Because in my family, we have two policies when it comes to paying our taxes. People like my dad who, really don't like paying taxes, so they take the minimum deduction out. And, the motto is, I'd rather owe them $100 at the end of the year than let them keep my money for all of it. Whereas, say my older sister, she uses it more as like a year-end savings account. Where do you stand up on this? I know finances is kind of your thing. Which do you think is actually the better of the two mindsets?
I believe it's dependent upon your situation. And I'll give you this advice. If you're regularly making investments with your money, if you're regularly taking your money and putting it into something and seeing a return on that investment, then I would say that your parents' way is probably the best way. You'd rather owe them $100 at the end of the year than have them take your money. Now, if you're the kind of person that's living paycheck to paycheck on a regular basis, or you find yourself doing that for anything more than say 2 or 3 paychecks during the month, during the year, then you want to use your sister's method, because you're not in a position to really invest any of that money. And in all reality, if you end up owing the government and you don't have it, you can really fuck yourself up on this over the course of many years. And in that case, it's better to be safe than to be sorry. Not to criticize you, but you really have to look at yourself and say, am I responsible enough to have this extra money and use it properly? Or would it be better if I just went ahead and paid them all year and then got the return?
Okay.
So it's,
well, I mean, I wasn't really so much asking for my own personal stuff. I do things in my own way. I was more just curious, you know, like what would be like a better financial situation, to be honest with you. Like, coming from somebody who does it for, or I don't know if this is what you do for a living, but I know that you're good with it.
No, I'm an engineer. I work for oil pipeline companies, but no, I actually saw my parents waste money really badly for years and years and years, and I learned how not to do that.
Okay.
And ever since then, a lot of people have come to me, trying to. Once you figure out how things work, everything's very simple when it comes to finances, and a lot of it's just self-discipline, knowing your situation, and behaving. You know, rich people aren't rich because they make a lot of money. They're rich because they don't waste it.
Right.
Well, and not to mention, they can afford high yield savings accounts and other things that make massive amounts of money.
There's no such thing as a high yield savings account
or savings program, whatever.
No. You're thinking about investments. There's no such thing as a safe investment either. Savings account is safe, but depending on inflation, you could still end up losing money. Then you have hedges.
Are we talking about savings accounts on the Cunt stream?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm the finance guy on the Cunt stream. I don't think you knew that.
No, I was asking for a while there in the chat when the guy with the tattoo was going to punch the fish.
Probably in about 7 more minutes.
Okay.
And I'm a mammal.
and I'm one of you.
Hey guys, how's it going?
What's going on, Pod?
Sorry, I'm gonna have to do my news article and run because I've got to take care of, unfortunately. But I do have something pretty big.
That wraps it up for financial news. Over to Pod.
Yeah, so it looks like from what I have been researching this last week, it looks like the Pentagon wants $716 billion budget for the military in the next budget to pass, because they're wanting to do a build up a military power, because they think that within the next years there's going to possibly be some type of incident that might spark a war. So they're trying to get as prepared as possible. So they're looking for about I think it's like a 7% increase on what they have right now, up to 7 maybe it's a little bit higher than that, but they are asking for that. I was reading this; it's on the Hill. So $716 billion for that way that they can. I think it's adding another 60,000 soldiers and having 100 more aircraft for the Air Force, as well as 274 to 350 more ships for the Navy.
Do they really think World War III is about to happen?
I don't think it's a World War III scenario. I think they just want a good buildup, because to be honest, under Obama we didn't really get to purchase many vehicles. We actually had to get rid of a lot of good soldiers. Even if they did one thing wrong, we had soldiers who were going left, right, and center because they got a DUI or something like that, and they got kicked out of the military because it was in a lull year, which usually wouldn't have gone. The times between 2003 2011, whenever we were still in war, but people were getting kicked out for different silly things, like if they had some type of a flag on their name, like not just PT failures or anything like that, but if they like had any type of run-in with a law, no matter how minuscule it was, the people in the military, you were getting kicked out for it. It was really bad between now back to 2013 whenever Obama first cut the military spending. So I think it's a good idea. I want to get your guys' opinion though.
It sounds good to me because I know that we've got a bit of a dilapidation. And confirm this for me. We have a bit of a dilapidation in our technology and equipment. Is that right?
I mean, from what I don't. When I'm in the National Guard, so I get my money from state, but a lot of that money comes from federal. So, I mean, our equipment. I mean, we're still fucking using M16s to be honest, but that little bit of more money could get us up to M4s. I mean, it's not really a crazy thing to say. We did get a lot of new equipment whenever Trump first got in, because I think he actually increased it like a little bit, like $2 or $3 billion. But that money can go a long way. That's coming up from I think 668 million to 701, or 668 billion to 701 billion. So that's about almost a $40 billion increase in expenditures. So I think it's a good idea. It's because that's the thing that America's army and our military in general prides itself on, is the amount of training and the amount of high-end equipment that we have. And the more money you have to spend on the equipment, the better equipped your army is, or your military rather.
Right.
Yeah.
What's your opinion?
I think it's an absolutely great idea. And anyway, let's hear from Zell, our new guy. Zell, you haven't been on the Cunt News Network before. What do you think about this military buildup?
What are we worried about? I would assume, I would assume North Korea is probably. Politipod seems like he knows a lot about this, but I would assume it's North Korea that's probably pushing this, at least the sphere. We want to be prepped for that. Doesn't that feel like a real scenario eventually, or do you think it's cooling down? I feel like it might be a real scenario, I'd say in the next 5 years.
Well, what the thing is like you prepare for the worst but pray for the best. So
Absolutely.
Right now we're in a better scenario than what we were a few months ago with North Korea. So like they're putting an Olympic team together, and that was what we covered last time. So I think what Trump's hoping for, or what the Pentagon's hoping for, is that we go ahead and just get our stuff built up. That way we have the ships here still. We can just maintain them. The maintenance cost isn't as much as the build-up cost, because once you build something, you just got to maintain it. It's not as expensive because you have people who maintain it. You don't have to get like contractors to do it. So what you do is you build it up first, and then like the next fiscal year you do a lowering of the costs. So you pay, let's say you take $701 billion now. In a year, you have all of your equipment and all your soldiers in. You knock it back down to 675 billion, and then there you go.
It's like getting a new car, and it's like, well, then of course your cost of maintenance is going to drop.
Yeah, exactly. It's precisely what it's like.
Yeah. But you mentioned prepping for something that might be going down. I thought maybe you were hinting at some kind of knowledge on. Or at least I thought what I felt from you was like a sort of implied fear about North Korea. You don't think it's going to be that?
I mean, it's not really a fear. I'm not afraid of North Korea if we go to war to them. I'm more worried about if North Korea and us go to war, what's going to be the impact on South Korea, which is one of the largest economies in the world. Because if South Korea or Seoul gets bombed, you're destroying tons and tons of businesses. You're destroying billions of dollars worth of everything, infrastructure, as well as just economic power. And then you also got to think about the other aspect of this, which is militarily. Is China going to join in with North Korea, or they're going to get in with us? And once that part of the war ends, who's going to have that North Korean land? Because it certainly isn't going to be the North Koreans anymore. It's either going to be the South Koreans, it's going to be the U.S., or it's going to be China. And I'm going to lean more towards that it's going to be South Korea's, and they're going to make a unified Korea. But I know how China is, and they want that land very badly. That's why they've been pushing for North Koreans to own that land for forever. So
I
it's
have a
really
good question then.
yeah. What's up?
All right, war happens, right?
Mhm.
We win.
Mhm.
South Korea not in a good state.
Mhm.
If China goes, all right, that's our fucking land now. Another war, or you say no, we stand down.
I mean, at that point, we would have to stay up because here's the thing: China's not going to dictate what the land is used for, especially if they're not fighting in the war. They're not going to get to dictate that. We're the ones who fought for it. Our people died for it. They don't get to decide that. If they want to try to decide it, we have millions and millions of troops over there in the over in the Atlantic that can, or the Pacific, that can go over there and help. So, I mean, the problem is that if China is going to do that, do they want to risk their economy, their land, and their people, as well as possibly full on nuclear war? Because I don't think that they want that for real. I really don't. I don't think China is that idiotic to go after a little tiny piece of land, comparatively speaking, to them, who has I think it's like the 4th or 5th largest country in the world.
Yeah.
But they could be crazy enough to do it. You never know.
And they're financial partners with Russia, and Russia might step in and say, "Hey, China, why don't you calm down? Because our economies are tied together."
Well,
and we
everybody's
don't
economy is tied to China at this point because China is such a great economic power now. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see it play out. Just from it obviously wouldn't be cool for it to play out, but it'd be interesting to see how that would work.
Yeah, I don't think Russia wants war with us.
What do you say, Zell?
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm done. Go ahead, Zell. Well, you had a question.
I like when I have people on that know way more about this than I do, and I feel like Politipod and even yourself. What was it? Soul? What was your name?
Dolphin Radio.
Dolphin. Sorry. I got into it. With somebody one time about how well China's doing, and I was only coming at it from a pleb's point of view, being very confused and only understanding what I've seen through like certain YouTube
Actually,
videos.
just came from another. I've been to hang out with a few other larger people a second ago, and they were talking to us. We were all talking about China, and they raised a couple of good points because China still has technically it's a communist economy, but it's only that it's not full on as it used to be. Yeah, like back in the day, they would own 100% of the company. Now it's only they own like 25 to like 50% of a company, and then they give the money back to the people. It's a very weird economy. Places like Hong Kong, very weird. Yeah, places like Hong Kong are fully capitalistic, but places like Shanghai and Beijing have all these things where there's a ton of regulations in effect for businesses, and their economy's been growing for several years now. It's incredible.
People like me. I think most people what I experienced, my firsthand experience with China's economy, it was through a lot of real useful YouTube channels where it's veterans that live in China, and they would go around showing you different locales. You might have seen some of them. And there was one in particular, a few, where they would tour and I'm sure you've heard of these, the ghost cities or the ghost towns of China.
Yeah.
They started getting into how their economic rise was built. Now, you could tell me how I'm completely wrong here. This is my assessment of it, but it felt like the government itself was just buying things and building things with its own money to then refinance its own money. Like it felt like a circular.
Oh, they do it. They
and so there was
everywhere. They do that in Africa.
There were some financial analysts, if you'd call them that were trying to explain, like, on paper, or superstitially.
Let me red pill
their
you something
economy
real quick.
Is blowing up.
On
paper.
Let me red pill you real quick. So what China's been doing for the last few years, and as a geographer and a geospatial analyst, I have to study a lot of this stuff for not only the military but also for my my job. So a lot of the times with people like what China's doing, what they're doing is they're going to places like Africa and the Middle East where they're so woefully underdeveloped and no one wants to develop in these areas. China's willing to take the risk because their economies was doing so poorly, but now it's going up. They want to start building it up even more. So what they're doing is they'll build a factory for African workers, and they'll pay them pretty well, relatively to what they're doing over there. And then what will happen is that China will get a cut of that action, and they'll send back to China, and the Africans have more money to spend. So there's more and more people getting hired there. China's making more and more money off of like raw materials is a big thing that they do. So things like they've been buying up the world's gold reserves for the last several decades now, trying to back their economy with gold. It's not going to work, but they have the market cornered with precious metals like lithium, what's the other one? A lot of steel industries there, a lot of lithium, a lot of battery type technology is there. A lot of you hear about Silicon Valley, like they make silicon a lot. Silicon Valley is obviously in America, but China has its own version of it. It's very unsafe work conditions, but they don't really care because they got billions and billions of people to throw in it, and there's all these people who need work, so they aren't worried about these spots not getting filled up. So it's kind of an interesting thing. China's a weird economy.
Also, doesn't China build up, like they base their economy off of how much they're really building as well, which is why you have huge plots of land that used to be farmland in China that are now these empty, vacant apartment buildings.
Well, you know why that is, right?
Why?
It's because a lot of that farmland isn't needed anymore because they have they're because of the revolution that Mao Zedong did with the whole getting. So Maoism is basically it's seizing the means of farm production. So basically, you get all the food for production for people. And what he did was he built up the farming aspects of that more so than he did the industrial. That's why China was so poor for so long. So what they're doing now is all this excess farmland that they don't need anymore. They're building buildings on top of it so that they can now fill it up later because they know that somebody's going to want to move there in 10 years' time, let's say. So what they do is they just pay the upkeep on it. It's kind of like what the military does. They're paying the upkeep on it. They're keeping it open. They're keeping it, not open and running, but they're keeping it, up to date.
Well, what about all the abandoned ones that do they just stop building at?
I mean, they end up usually coming back and building more on top of them. But at least from what I've seen, a lot of the times it's in areas where they thought they were going to have a massive buildup and they ended up not doing that. So what they'll do is they'll end up going back to that area. Like if they built an apartment building and that area is now like an industrial area, what they'll do is they'll scrap the apartment building and build like a factory or something there.
The other thing that I experienced while watching some of these videos from a lot of veterans that live in China is the fucking piss poor construction work. How there's so much problems with floors.
Oh,
there's
dude, it's incredible.
There's
so many industrial disasters in China. It's crazy.
That's the other thing I wonder about is, again, and this is just from a pleb's point of view, but isn't whether or not they're becoming an economical power, okay, and whether or not, like, to me, what I see from my balcony as a regular dumb American is I see a bubble being built, not so much an economic power being built, and that it's going to burst.
Yes and no. They've diversified their economy so much, I don't think it's going to matter if one industry falls or not. Because since they have the corner on precious metals, the precious metals is always going to stay up for them. Precious metals is not going to be a thing that falls through anytime soon because you have to have lithium because of all these batteries that are being produced. You have to have stuff like steel. You'll have to have stuff like gold and all this other stuff because people buy it and they sell it all the time. Things like housing can fall through, but if the housing falls through, who's going to gain? China, because even though that industry fell through, they're still going to gain from the precious metal industry. And even though the precious metal industry because people don't buy houses all the time, people always buy precious metals. Every
Well, you
company
have to
in the
understand-
world buys precious metals, almost.
What you have to understand about precious metals in particular is that they're not an investment, and they're not a commodity or something that you would purchase or buy or just keep for yourself. They're considered a hedge when you're looking at a business world. So what you've done with China's economy is you put most of its money into a particular bracket of stuff that's going to go up with inflation or down with inflation. So it doesn't gain money or lose money. It just maintains purchasing power of money. If that makes any sense, they can always sell off the gold and get that value in gold, whether it was $1 today or $300 tomorrow. The dollar will still purchase what $300 will tomorrow. Another way of looking at it is like if you look at 1964 dime is worth about $1.50 worth of silver, and you could buy a can of tuna about I think it's an 8-ounce can of tuna for $1 or for 10 cents in 1963, and that same can of tuna is $1.50 today. So like the silver in the coin is still worth the same amount purchasing wise. But it doesn't actually gain or lose any value over time, and that's what China's done. So they can take a hit in one area, and it's just absorbed because so much of their money is in something that just follows inflation. Because if the market drops, well, the price of their gold goes up, and that just bam, it takes the hit.
Yep, that's precisely it.
Okay, that makes
You got any
sense.
more questions?
Yeah.
No, that was great stuff, man.
Anybody else?
No. Go have a good night, Sam.
Anybody?
Going
Yeah,
once, going
take
twice.
care,
All
brother.
right.
No.
Sorry, I couldn't stay longer, guys. I gotta go get back to this other thing because I promised my friend that I completely spaced on this. I'm so sorry, but
Okay.
I'll be here for the next one for sure. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Talk to you later, brother.
That's the Politipod. And back to Zell in the studio. Zell, have you got any great news for us from this week?
Any great news?
Yes, any good news stories? Are you coming in for the news stories? Yes.
Yeah, I got a great news story. All of my predictions were proven correct when we got that shitstorm of a fucking Han Solo trailer today.
Oh, how
right.
bad
So-
was it?
That movie, I'm sorry, that thing's fucking done. I mean, it's gonna make bank, but it's not gonna make the bank that they wanted.
I'm glad that every time I do a stream, everybody in the chat says that dolphins are rapists, but at this point, I think we can all agree that Disney is the real rapist.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's still dolphins.
No, but you do have
For
to
us as a culture, for them, it's out of vengeance. It's like it's a vindictive thing that they do.
Fuck,
Yeah.
are you a dolphin?
look at the prices at Disney Store on their website and what they charge for anything. Of course they are raping you. They're raping
this
your
is coming
wallet.
from-
No,
this is
no,
coming
I
from
don't-
someone
I
that,
don't
like,
have
this is-
kids, so yeah, I don't know what the hell shit costs on
this
Disney.
is coming from someone, and this is why, like, I supremely would appreciate never being doxxed. I work at Disneyland, so I fucking know. I know.
No, see, I'm a capitalist, so I don't even care how much money they make. Go for it. But when you rape the things from my childhood, when you take good and glorious and wholesome things, and
You're
you
always
just-
gonna have 4, 5, and 6. It's not. I don't know.
I know.
I mean, I did not like Last Jedi, but rape. But this okay. You know what? I'll say if anything's rape, it's this fucking Solo movie because Harrison Ford is Han fucking Solo. That's it. End of story. Leave him alone. And the fact that there's rumors behind the scenes months back of this guy playing Han Solo needing an acting coach on set because he sucked that fucking much, and then you don't even show one scene of him being Han Solo in the trailer, which is a late trailer. All the alarm bells are going off.
So you think this guy's gonna be
Yeah.
worse than Fish Mouth?
What? Clarify.
Ray. I jokingly call Ray Fishmouth because in the movie she never closed her goddamn mouth.
Oh my god, I never heard that. Okay. Yeah. I don't think Ray's, as far as performance wise, terrible. I think she's a terribly written character.
Okay.
But we might disagree there. But yeah. He's gonna be worse than that easily.
Mm.
I think that Disney could have done so well if they really wanted to. If they wanted to have some fun, have some childhood fun, like let's bring in some money, they could have done a Tag and Bink series,
Yes.
which
no,
is
no. You
For anyone that doesn't know who Tag and Binks is, can you fill them in?
all right. Tag and Bink are like they're two characters that are never on screen. They're always off screen, fucking everything up in just such a way that everything happens exactly as it should. Like, so they affect basically everything in the Star Wars universe,
But
and
you never
nobody
see
even
them.
knows. You never see them. Nobody knows who they are.
And that's the joke, and it's a great joke.
It's a wonderful
It works.
joke, and it goes from episode 1. I'm not admitting that that's a thing. I'm just saying
I
it
thought
goes
they
from
started
something
it-
called episode 1 all the way up to episode 6.
Oh, I thought it started with only episode 4. They're all the way
No.
back to episode 1.
Yeah, it goes all the way back because they actually started off as Jedi Padawan in the very first episode.
Oh my god, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't that good.
My favorite moment of theirs is when what was it? They're on the Death Star, and they simply like it explains how the stormtroopers like somehow never saw Obi-Wan. They did see him and just ignored him.
Yeah, because it was Tag and Bink, and they were
Yeah.
just like, let's come on, we're still trying to figure our way off this thing.
Yeah.
That was great.
And for those of you who are classical literature lovers, it's basically a Star Wars version of I forget how it's pronounced, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, or Guildenstern and Rosencrantz are dead.
Mm.
One of those two. But basically, Hamlet had a similar duo that explains how all the weird stuff in Hamlet happened.
Oh, that's great.
Personally, I want them to do a movie about the monk and the guy with the gun from Rogue One, because those were by far the two best characters for actors that you saw on screen, not
Sorry,
the
what did you
robots.
say?
The monk and the guy with the big gun.
Holy shit! I was just talking about with my friend Cadunt about this, and I was like, Rogue One would have been like a million times better had it been through the eyes of that monk and that guy who shoots a lot.
Yeah, because they had such chemistry together. They felt like old war buddies.
Yeah,
Like they've been through so
and
much.
they were interesting. It was interesting
Yes.
what the monk was doing. Like I was like, tell me more about how you know so much about the Force, but are admittedly not really a Force user.
Yeah, it's like, please, I want the entire movie about them. They were fascinating.
Yeah.
See, yeah, and Disney could have done stories like that. They could have done the Tag and Bink story. They
Instead,
could
we
have
got
done
the fucking
Rogue
cunt Jen Urso, who was just like a bitch to anyone who wanted to save her.
Yeah, and then they could have put off this whole like making episode 7, 8, and 9 until later. You know, until they got a feel for what worked and what didn't work with the Star Wars audience. Because I'm sorry, Disney does not know what works or doesn't work with a Star Wars audience yet. Because they've proven it by fucking up now how many times.
Oh, I still admittedly loved Force Awakens. I still had a great time, and I think that's a great movie, all its faults included.
The only thing I liked about it was the frozen laser beam. That was it. I was like, okay, that's cool.
I had a blast with the movie, but I did have issues with I hated Rogue One, and then I was just extremely disappointed with Last Jedi, and felt that it was subversive for the sake of it, and that it thought being subversive innately made it a good story, and it doesn't.
It makes it more contrived.
Yeah, and a little pretentious too. Yeah.
A little? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you say Porg storyline?
Oh, dude, if they just had a Porg movie, that would have been better.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
no
it's like
dialogue,
the
it's
Minions.
just them using their eyes the whole time, like getting all sad and stuff.
Oh, doesn't that make that new Star Wars film sound even suckier? It's like and almost sorry because it's like, oh, we'd rather watch Porgs on screen for an hour.
I probably rather would. Well, like, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna see the Han Solo movie. Well, no, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna see the Han Solo movie. That's bad when you're like, I don't know about a Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't say I don't know. You should be like I'm in.
Yeah, Star Wars should be. I shut my mind off. I watched this for a little bit. Not. I'm watching this, going, what the fuck?
Can we all agree
That's how I
that,
feel about John Wayne.
Can we all agree that Kylo Ren was the best part of Last Jedi?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
And Emo Vader wasn't very good in the first one.
You know, I thought he was. I thought he worked, and I thought a lot of people were unfairly shitting on him. And I had trust that he was going to be the most interesting thing coming out of this trilogy. And sure as shit, The Last Jedi, he was like the best thing, if the only good thing about the movie. I thought he was so intense. I thought his performance was great,
Mhm.
and I just wanted Rey to join him at the end. I was like, "Fuck it, do it. I don't care anymore. Just do it. Kill them all."
Yeah. Well, you know the movie is going to be bad if Mark Hamill talked out about it before it came out.
Oh, and then he
I
got the
can't
Disney
imagine
whiplash,
he would
and now he's stepped in line.
Oh, did he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was talking a little smack about the movie. He was kind of criticizing it here and there, and then you could tell he was silent for a couple weeks, and then he started singing its praises, and it's like, oh, he got the Disney whiplash.
Disney went to you and went, we let you out of this franchise. You have to talk nicely about it.
Or no, you know what I bet it is that I bet he's going to be a Force Ghost in the next one, and he's probably got a pretty penny behind it, and they're like, dude, if you keep shitting on it, we'll just write you out. Because now we don't need you.
Actually, they were probably like, please, please, please stop doing that. Please. We'll write you in as a Force Ghost if you stop doing that. Because, like, you know, him saying bad things, I think, was pretty impactful. That a lot of people took notice of that. And I don't think
you shouldn't have you shouldn't have one of your most iconic film characters in history, who millions and millions of people have looked up to and grown up with over the years, even sometimes looking at him as like an idol or a role model. You shouldn't have that person read your goddamn script, and his response to the director/writer is, I fundamentally disagree with everything you've done with my character. You shouldn't have that shit be happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely not the best look.
No. And not to mention all the weird scenes they talked about, like the milking cow thingy.
I didn't mind the milking. I like the green milk. That was kind of Star Wars.
Kind of weird. Yeah, it was kind of weird in that. I mean, he had blue milk on Tatooine.
Yeah.
Like, what's green milk? I mean, like, if you look at it, blue's a lot weirder than green.
Yeah.
I don't know how you deal with that, but all right.
No, I mean, half the stuff you eat is green.
Okay.
If you have a healthy diet.
This is true. Vegetables are usually green.
Yeah, but like
nothing is blue.
But every 80% of the stuff you drink is blue.
If it's got food coloring in it, I mean, what's really blue?
Well, I was thinking more water, but it's because it's reflected in that.
No, it's clear. It's clear. If your water is blue, stop drinking out of the toilet.
Yep.
Anyway, so Ren, do you have anything else?
Not really. I mean, let's see. Is this one long enough? Oh, it kind of is. This is another one. It's from the end of last month, so only 5 days ago. Titled "My Designer Vagina Saved My Life."
Really? Does it come with like a lockpick so that you could get out of a burning room or something? That would be awesome. Like, honey, put your snatch up against the door. Just open it.
Dude, it'd be instead of MacGyver, Vajiver.
Oh God, this one's
well
even.
played, sir.
This is even worse because the woman, the reason that she got it initially, the vagina surgery, whatever the fuck they call it, was because she was uncomfortable.
Vaginoplasty?
Yeah, because she was she was too uncomfortable to leave the house.
Is she a fucking nudist or something?
I don't know. She complains about
What was wrong
bladder.
with her vagina?
She complains about bladder problems, but that happens to most new moms at any given point in time. Actually, most pregnant women. But she had to get a specialist, then a second opinion, and then she finally got the vaginoplasty.
And now we get to hear about how it saved her life.
She just says she can exercise again and have sex
Oh, so she wasn't like being robbed and she pulled a gun out?
Yeah, that's what it made it
No.
sound like.
No. She's basically saying that it made her more comfortable with her life again.
Let me ask you, is this an article or an advertisement?
It's an article.
I'm just saying, maybe you've looked some stuff up a few too many times and...
Nope, New York Post, dude.
Okay. Wow, New York
Oh,
Post.
Jesus Christ.
Is that the entertainment section again?
This was in lifestyle.
Oh, yeah, entertainment section.
What part don't you consider the entertainment section?
Oh, no, the other part was the comedy section.
Oh, okay. I see.
Which isn't
Yeah.
to be confused with entertainment.
No. There's a whole nother section that they call politics. That's the spoof section.
Oh, gotcha.
Anyway.
So she could like ride her bike more and ride her guy more, or was she
Yes.
lesbian?
No, she could ride her guy more and exercise again. Was all it said. That was her.
And
That
that saved her. What was wrong with her vagina? Like I'm imagining in like a roast beef sandwich with like a stick of dynamite in it.
No, she complained about
No,
everything
Keep with
being
the theme. I was
looser.
picturing a Sarlacc pit.
She basically was complaining that it was really loose down there for a bit.
Stop fucking black guys!
Now, Ren,
What do you
let
want me
just
to
ask this
tell
question,
you?
'cause I really don't know, but after the baby comes out, doesn't it need some time to like shrink back down and readjust?
Yes. And that can take anywhere from 6 weeks to sometimes some women it's like 6-7 months.
Did she mention that she was having issues right after she had a kid?
Yes, she mentioned that. And
Yeah,
then said
and
it kept going. And it's like the only thing going through my head is sometimes some of those things take up to a year to go back to full normal.
Yeah,
Well,
and
she had a
sometimes
surgery
they
that
get a
fixed her
cut.
up, like that. Good on her.
I don't know.
Good on her, man. But it sounds like her husband might want to start reading her text messages.
I don't know. I can see a kid tearing you up.
It can.
Sometimes they gotta cut that sucker open a little wider with a
I had
scalpel.
5 cocks a night inside of me, and I have issues.
Well, I mean, maybe you'll need an analplasty in a week or so, but yeah.
That's gonna be the true teller. She's like, I was constipated. Honey, are you cheating on me?
No, of course, totally not.
I cut fiber out of my diet entirely.
I don't like fiber.
Anyway, thanks for let me see. American Phoenix, do you have any other great stories for us today?
I was looking at one about a bird dying. That's kind of sad, but I don't really know if we want to end this on a sad note.
No.
Talking about Liz Reptile?
Did it land on top of a hunter, and is there a valid video?
No.
There is no video, but he's the only bird of his species that's been on this island in like 40 years. He fell in love with a concrete statue of a bird of the same species, and now he's dead. And he's been in love with this bird for like years now, and actually built her a nest. And now he's dead.
Yeah, dude, that's
That's about the most
depressing.
depressing thing. I mean, that's worse than cancer moments of silence at hockey games. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's
They said it was fucking depressing. You're like, it's about a bird, and you started asking questions.
Zell, please say something funny while Ren looks up a really great story to close us out on, because that just will not do. So say funny things, or I'll have to. I don't know. I'll have to start speaking myself.
I bet Lando gets like one line in this movie.
There's another trending news thing off of New York Post, but I don't know if you want me to read it.
Oh, God.
Why are we
go ahead.
Stop it!
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Father-daughter couple arrested for incest after having love child.
The fuck?
Really? We're gonna end
That's better. That's better than the bird. That's better than the bird.
Yes.
Let's all just sing a funny song together about clubbing seals.
No, how about here's a good old dandy tune. Why don't we talk about that shrieking that Rose McGowan put on against that apparent sexual assault pervert?
Oh, she complained about Alyssa Milano in that same interview.
Oh, goody, it gets better.
Oh yeah, she said where she's quoted in the article as quoted because it was a video interview.
Yeah.
And she's
for anyone who hasn't seen the video, you should check it out. It's hilarious.
She's quoted as saying, "I don't like her," and then complained that Alyssa Milano got better jobs than her.
Well, for context, for Dolphin, you haven't seen the video?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so Rose McGowan is doing this little speech thing for some of her groupies, and some he-she thing walks in and starts screaming at her about, you don't do anything for trans people, why just women, blah, blah, blue, blue. And Rose McGowan literally just, like, she has her Kramer moment, and it's awful. And everyone was like, yeah, fuck you, Rose. You need to, like, do stuff for other folks. And then the next day it turned out like, oh, by the way, that he-she thing that came in and yelled at her, yeah, apparently he-she has been molesting or sexually assaulting women for years. And there's cases coming out about it, dozens. And I'm just like, this was a beautiful fight because you had the crazed Me Too woman who you could tell wanted to throw it on everything and listen and believe. And then you had like this trans activist who came in and was like, I'll speak for all of you. And then the very next day, the trans community was like, fuck, get her off TV.
To the basement. Never happened.
It was glorious.
All right, guys, don't print those posters. Yeah, don't send those out yet.
Yeah, like it was beautiful watching both sides not know who to yell at.
Do we yell at her for yelling at the trans person, or is the fact that the trans person molests women, does that make Rose McGowan the better
What do we do?
It's hard to say those words, isn't it, right?
Yeah.
A feminist just exploded. Yeah, but a trans person just touched a bunch of girls. What do we...
Their brain does not compute.
Yeah, and then there's people like us sitting back going, guys, it's called logic. Just chill.
Everybody,
just chill, relax, and just wait.
Rule number 1: it's right there on the cover in big friendly letters. Don't panic.
Just chill, and you'll find out. You'll just chill, and you'll find out who's full of shit and who's not.
Anyway, this episode of the Dolphin News... I'm sorry, this isn't the Dolphin News Network.
You fucker.
This episode of Cunt News Network has been brought to you by Tenga Eggs. Tenga Eggs, go fuck yourself. And by those wonderful people over in the Cunt stream. Come visit us, I think, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days a week. And
did you want to announce, or did you want to tell people, remind them of what's going on tomorrow night?
Yes. Tomorrow night we have a wonderful charity event. There is, we are giving up the Cunt Stream beta for a young man who I'm not 100% what's going on, but I know he has some brain disorders. He's going in for surgery. We're trying to help his parents raise some money to get him fixed up. So I'll be doing a reading, I think, a reading or two Schmeckel's going to surprise me with what it is. So you guys might show up tomorrow and hear me doing, I don't know,
Yeah.
porn or some shit like that in my deep sultry voice. That would freak me
Oh,
out.
you just sold me.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna watch some videos. We're gonna have some fun. There's gonna be some commentary, and hopefully we can help this kid raise some money. Check us out tomorrow night, 11 p.m. Eastern Standards, as always. Ren,
Hello. I'm
This-
reading Showtime.
yeah, shill time.
All right, I'm reading Ren. I'll be live on my my channel Shitlords Anonymous tomorrow at 2, Monday through Friday, and then don't forget, and then Shitlords Theater Friday night and Shitlords Anonymous Saturday. So, lots of live
Excellent.
streaming.
Zell, where can we find you?
All you little fucks can find us on the Help for the Guildless YouTube channel. We have a show called Proper Villains that me, Brockus, Antoine, and Lo-Fi all host every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This coming Tuesday, we got Eseth, the original, for 4 hours, and it is the religion episode. We're diving into it all.
Oh wow. Wow, that's a hell of a show. I might just have to come.
We're gonna have Schmeckel as well. That little fucker wants to come on too, so
He's
we're gonna have a
fucking
great
original.
time.
Might have to talk to you about getting Issa to come on the Cunt Stream beta sometime. But anyway,
Right on.
American Phoenix, go ahead and shill yourself out there. Oh, and
I
tell
am
us
the American
one
Phoenix.
last
Oh, go
traffic
ahead.
report too.
Traffic report is I've been parked at a rest area for about the last hour and a half, and I'm cooking dinner on my catwalk.
All right, from the Chopper News Network number 2. Go ahead and tell us where we can find.
I'm the American Phoenix. You can find me on Twitter at the American Phoenix. If you guys come and follow me, I will teach you a nice sing-along song that you can do with your kids, all about murdering by clubbing small infant seals.
Yeah, and a quick correction on the charity stream tomorrow. It's not for surgery; it's the therapy. So I'm sure that's a lot more inspiring. Anyway, I am the Dolphin Radio. Thank you for tuning into the Cunt News Network. We're here every Sunday night. So long, and thanks
Yeah.
for all the fish.